Good morning. It is April 28th. I'm going to be your guest speaker for the next 2 weeks. We'll also be handling your assignments. And this is also the first time I've ever done a video. And so I know how you feel the last couple of weeks. And I will try to get going as carefully as I can. I am not good at ad-libbing things, and so I have notes, and I'm going to just read them, and we'll see how it goes, and maybe by next week I can do this without the notes, but please bear with me as I will be looking up most of the time. So, here we go. This week we're going to talk about working the numbers, and working the numbers in this case talks about getting consultants on your team and sponsoring a new team member. So, when you are looking for a new Scentsy sister, what does she look like? Is she between 20 and 40 years old? Does she love scented candles? Does she seem to have her life together? Does she have cute hair or cute shoes? Do all Scentsy sisters have these traits? Absolutely not. But which one of these was most important? I think it's that she loves Scentsy scented candles. But who else loves scented candles? Almost everyone, including men. There is no one right type of Scentsy sister to add to your team. When we went on our first incentive trip to the Big Island in Hawaii in 2010, both Norma and I worried so much about our white bodies being exposed. We just knew that when we got there to the beach, there would be 290 out of the 300 had perfect bodies, of course, and the other 10 of us would hide and spend our week under our towels. Instead, when we got to the beach, we were quite surprised, and in a good way. We saw men and women, all sorts of ages, shapes, sizes, and some of them, a few, were even whiter than us. And the best thing about it all was that all of them were in the water. Some were on their chairs, some were in groups with water up to their knees, and many were swimming. All these people had earned this free trip to Hawaii, and there they were a fabulous mixture of people. I don't remember who wore what, who was large, who was small, who was old, and who was young. Gotta turn my page now. I do remember what a great time we had talking and learning more about Scentsy, and what a lasting impression that it made on me. It's one of my favorite stories to tell, because it was just like regular America. It was not a special group. When we meet prospective new teammates, we don't have a lot of time to ask 20 questions, but we do have time to share with them very briefly the business opportunity and give them information to read. We also have time to listen to them to see what they want to know. Sponsoring is not a 20-minute lecture to tell them every single reason as to why you love Scentsy, and they should too. By listening, you will be able to hear what they like about it and why they might be interested in making extra money. Because who doesn't like extra money? Here's our short story as why we signed up to sell Scentsy. Think about the reason you signed up, and how long did it take? Was it immediately? Or did you take some time? Or did you take a lot of time? We went to a garage sale flea market at the fairgrounds. We were almost done, getting ready to leave, but we entered our last building. And when we walked in, the smell of Scentsy was in the air. Of course, we didn't know what it was at the time, but it was like a magnet that just drew us right over to this one booth. We both love scents, and were looking for a way to get the scent without the fire of a candle. Norma went right into the booth, of course, and I started looking at some warmers just outside. Within seconds, the consultant started right in on Norma, telling her in a prepared speech, and kept going on and on and on, getting pretty much in her face. This completely turned us off, and I left the booth immediately. I didn't even find out what it was. Norma stayed for a few minutes and selected some bars and left herself. We were very shocked at the high-pressure tactics that this woman was doing. On our way home, Norma was smelling the bars and telling me how good they were, and then reading me the information that she had grabbed as she left the booth. The next day she came home from her job as a nurse and said, "I think we should sell this stuff." I looked at her in shock and I said, "Have you ever sold anything before?" And she said, "No." And I said, "Neither have I. Give me 24 hours to find out about this company." So 24 hours later, I had not found anything wrong with it. I found out that you share your catalogs, people order, you deliver the orders, and you make 20% on what they buy. We spent the next 24 hours looking for someone close to us, someone who knew about websites, and someone who had the same demeanor as we do. I found someone and then read every one of his blog posts. He was a great match for us, and we signed up. He did not even know us, and we did not know him. And yes, it was a he. People signing up online before knowing you is pretty rare. That's another good reason to have your photo and your story on your website, because people really do read them, and they make decisions based on them. So over the next 14 days, I'm going to be posting sponsoring information on the Director by November page. I love information and have gathered what I think are some of the awesome ideas from some of the best sponsors with Sensi. Some of it may be just what kickstarts you into building your team. Others may not be right for you at this time, but save them, because at some point, when you have 3 members and you think you've done everything you can think of, remember you saved these documents. Talking with others about the warmers, the wax, the buddies, the laundry detergent, purses, jewelry, and even the raclette is pretty easy. They are easy to explain and easy to show to others. The business is not something that people decide on in a few minutes or even a few days. That's a bigger step. Over the last 9 weeks, you have learned a lot about yourselves and improved your confidence in many areas. Each week you have gotten stronger as a person and found out you have skills you really didn't know you have. The last thing you want to hear about is someone signing up for someone else's team, and you find out that they didn't sign up with you because no one ever asked me. That person wanted to sell Sensi, but for some reason no one ever asked them. That person is going to be on somebody's team. Why not yours? See you next week.